area food banks are facing increased demands, ending some of the pandemic-related state nutritional benefits coupled with inflation is really fueling this increase.
In fact, a study by the U.S. Department of Agriculture shows Texas has the second highest rate of food insecurity in the country.
KPRC 2's Robert Arnold has been visiting food banks and is asking what help is needed to meet demand.
President of the Houston Food Bank, Brian Green, tells us 1 million people in the Houston region are experiencing food insecurity. And even though the food bank distributes 600,000 pounds of food every day to hundreds of partner operations, it is still barely enough to meet demand.
We were a drive-through food pantry through COVID. A typical day was about 70 folks, and now a typical day is 155 folks.
The Fairhaven Food Pantry on Houston's west side moved to indoor shopping to meet increased demand and give clients choices based on dietary needs. The operation has seen a 31% increase in demand over last year.
If you look at the numbers, we're actually serving more people now than we were during COVID.
I don't know what we would do if these programs were not in place.
Catholic Charities near downtown is helping Alicia Palacios. A car accident in COVID made for difficult times. Rising food costs then forced her to make difficult choices.
The dietary is so important because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have had any food sometimes.
President of the Houston Food Bank, Brian Green, says gains made at the end of the pandemic when jobs started returning have been chipped away by inflation.
And when people think of inflation, it's not just like food inflation. The biggest issue right now is rent inflation. Rent inflation is right now over 7%, and for a low-income family, that can be half or more of their income. We're absolutely seeing this in the lines. The Houston Food Bank and the partners that we serve are dealing with. We're trying to keep up, but it is quite a surge.
It's hard for me and my family to, sometimes not have food on the table. So this has helped out a lot.
San Juanita Dominguez says her daughters get 2 large bags of food every Friday at their school, part of a program through the Houston Food Bank. She says this is the only reason her pantry at home stays stocked. She is now volunteering at the food bank while looking for a full-time job.
It was very, very nice, very nice doing this for the community.
Certain nutritional benefits that were available during the COVID pandemic ended earlier this year, further fueling this increase in demand. In fact, that USDA study we referenced showed 15.5% of Texas families reported having food insecurity by the end of 2022. So volunteers and donations are still greatly needed. Reporting from East Houston, Robert Arnold, KPRC 2 News.